Pitu kayena sandhaya shira adaya barhishi sarvadevamayam devam atmanam ayajanmakai. Pitu kayena sandhaya shira adaya barhishi sarvadevamayam devam atmanam ayajanmakai. Pituhu of his father, Kayena with the body, Sandhaya joining, Shiraha the head, Adaya keeping, Barhishi upon Kusha grass, Sarvadevamayam the all-pervading Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of all the demigods, Devam Lord Vasudeva, Atmanam who is present everywhere as the Supersoul, Ayajad he worshipped, Makaihi by offering sacrifices. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhajarana Aravinda, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Thereafter, Parashurama joined his father's head to the dead body and placed the whole body and head upon Kusha grass. By offering sacrifices, he began to worship Lord Vasudeva, who is the all-pervading supersoul of all the demigods and of every living entity. Kindly repeat the translation. Thereafter, Parashurama joined his father's head to the dead body and placed the whole body and head upon Kusha grass. By offering sacrifices, he began to worship Lord Vasudeva, who is the all-pervading supersoul of all the demigods and of every living entity. Texts 21 and 22. I'll read myself. Dadau prachim disham hotre brahmane dakshinam disham advaryave pratichim vai udgatre uttaram disham अन्येभ्यो मांतर दिशः कश्यपाय च मध्यतः आर्यावर्तम उपद्रष्ट्रे सदस्येभ्यस्ततः परम. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Vaishnava Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. After completing the sacrifice, Lord Parashurama gave the eastern direction to the Hota as a gift, the south to the Brahma, the west to the Arvadyu, the north to the Udgata, and the four corners, northeast, southeast, northwest and southwest, to the other priests. He gave the middle to Kashyapa and the place known as Aryavarta to the Upadrashta. Whatever remained, he distributed among the Sadasyas, the associate priests. Purport. The tract of land in India between the Himalaya mountains and the Vindhya hills is called Aryavarta. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport and translation. To Canto 9, Chapter 16, texts 20 to 22. Om Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srimad Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So far we saw how Parshurama's father Jamadagni was killed by the sons of Kartiviri Arjuna because of vengeance. The vengeance being that Kartiviri Arjuna was killed by Parshurama. Therefore, in retaliation, they wanted to kill Parshurama's father. So when that happened, his Parshurama's mother was very uh, unhappy and devastated, and therefore she cried out to Parshurama very loudly and pitiably. And although Parshurama was very far, still he could hear his mother's cry. And he immediately came to the ashram, although very far. And when he saw that his father was dead, his head was separated from his body mercilessly. And further, actually, the head was uh, taken away by the sons of Kartiviri Arjuna. But when Parshurama returned, he understood what had happened, and he took his axe and went and killed all the sons of Kartiviri Arjuna. And then he brought back the head of his father. So here we see what he did do after that. Pitu Shiraha, taking his father's head, Kayena Sandhaya, and joining Sandhaya. Sandhaya means to joining. Kayena means body. So Pitu Shiraha, taking his father's head, Kayena Sandhaya, joining his father's head to his body, father's body, Adaya Barhishi, and he placed both the head and the body of his father, Adaya, placed it, keeping it, Barhishi, on a kusha grass. And then what did he do? Ayajan, he began to worship Devam, Lord Vasudeva, by Makaihi, Vedic sacrifices, which involves offering of maka, butter, clarified ghee. So Ayajan, Devam Makaihi, he began to worship Supreme Lord with uh, by offering sacrifices. And who is that Supreme Lord? Sarvadeva Mayam. He is the super soul of all the devatas. Actually, Sarvadeva Mayam, Prabhupada translates it as the master of all demigods. Sarvadeva Mayam. Devam. He is the Deva of all the Sarva Devatas, the God of gods, as Krishna describes himself in the Bhagavad Gita. Deva Deva Jagatpate. In the 10th chapter, Krishna says, I am God of gods, Lord of lords. That is Krishna's position. He is God of gods and is Lord of lords. Lord here refers to Ishvara. So Lord of Lords means Supreme Ishvara. God means Devata. So God of God means He is the ruler, the head of all the Devatas. And He is also the Supreme Controller. Therefore He is called Parameshwara. Krishna's another name is Parameshwara. And Shiva's another name is Parameshwara. Param Ishvara, Krishna is Param Ishvara. So He is the Supreme Controller, Supreme mystical person, one who possesses all the mystical powers, Parameshwara. So, Parashurama worshipped this Supreme Lord, Sarvadeva Mayam, who is the master of all demigods. And there is another meaning to this. Atmanam. Sukadeva Goswami continues to describe Lord Vasudeva as Sarvadeva Mayam, God of all gods, of all the Devatas, and Atmanam. He is also the Paramatma, the super soul in all the Devatas, super soul of all the demigods. He began to worship. Then what did he do? After completing the sacrifice, Lord Parashurama gave Dadao. Dadaha means to give as a gift. He gave the eastern direction to the Hota as a gift. Prachim Disham Hotre. Prachim means eastern direction. Prachim Disham, eastern direction. Hotre means the priest known as Hota. There are 4 kinds of priests. We will see that being listed here. The first is Hotra. So he gave the eastern direction of the land as a gift to the Hota priest. Then Brahmane Dakshinam Disham. He gave the southern direction, Dakshinam Disham, as a gift to Brahmane. Because when he conquered the whole world, all the kings in the world were killed. Naturally, Parashurama became the king of the entire earth. So the entire earth belonged to him. But he gave it to these Brahmanas as a gift, dividing it in different divisions and portions. North, south, east, west. That's what we are seeing here. So east and south is covered. Then Advaryave Pratichim Vai. He gave the west. Pratichim Vai. He gave the western direction of land to Advaryu, the priest called Advaryu. Udgatre Uttaram Disham. And he gave the Uttaram Disham, northern direction, north part of the land, to Udgata, the priest called Udgata. Then Anyebhyo Avantara Dishaha. Then the different corners, there are 4 corners, north, east, northwest, southeast, southwest. So he gave these different corners to the other priests. Anyebhyaha. Anyebhya means other priests. Because the Vedic sacrifice cannot be conducted by just one Brahmana or 2 Brahmanas. You require many, many priests. Then Kashyapaya Chamadyataha. The middle portion of the globe land he gave to Kashyapa Muni. Then Aryavartam Upadrashtre. He gave the land which is known as Aryavarta. Which is this land? Prabhupada explains. This is the tract of land in India from Himalaya to uh, Vindhya Hills. So Vindhya Hills is running approximately Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar, Chhattisgarh. So it's almost like a straight line there. And this Vindhya Hills separates the North India and the South India. It's a separating mountain actually. So it separates the North and South India. That means from Himalaya up to, you can say, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, that land is called Aryavarta. So that portion of the land Kashyapa Muni gave to Sadasyebhya Tata Param. So whatever land, basically whatever land remained, he gave to the Sadasyebhya, the associate priests. So Parashurama acquired the whole land, but finally is left out with no land. All the land belonged to him, but now no land belongs to him because he gave everything as a gift. There is one nice story about Lord Shiva also, similarly, that there was a kind of complaint about Lord Shiva that Lord Shiva is blessing everyone with opulent houses and lot of material opulences, material assets. That's why people go to Lord Shiva. They prefer to go to Lord Shiva because Lord Shiva blesses them with lot of material opulences and also very quickly. Krishna also will bless, but Krishna is calculative. So Lord Shiva is not like that, and Krishna will take a lot of time. Little slow Krishna is in that sense. But Krishna has his own calculations anyway. So Lord Shiva is called Ashutosha. Tosha means to be satisfied. Ashu means very quickly. So Ashutosha means one who is satisfied very quickly. So Lord Shiva is satisfied very quickly. And to please Lord Shiva also is very easy. One thing is he is satisfied very quickly. Second thing is to please him also, it's not very complex. Among the Devatas, Lord Shiva is the easiest to please because you just have to take Ganga water and Bilva Patra. That's all. Lord Shiva is happy. You don't require a bhoga also for it. Just take little Ganga water, Bilva Patra. He is happy. So a lot of people go to Shiva. So he is blessing everyone with material opulence. So Mother Parvati said, what about ourselves? Lord Shiva himself doesn't have any particular residence. Shiva himself does not have a house. But he is giving big, big villas and apartments and gated communities to everybody. Skyscraper buildings to everybody. But he himself doesn't have a place to stay. He does not have even one house, one flat number somewhere. At least one. He does not have. He's always roaming in crematoriums, in space, in Kailasa. Doesn't have a home. So detached Lord Shiva is. This is what the Acharyas and Srimad Bhagavatam points out. Lord Shiva is so renounced and so detached and so much devoted to Lord Vasudeva that he has no interest in acquiring any material asset or paraphernalia for himself. He has no interest in acquiring any material paraphernalia for himself. He has no time. He's always absorbed in meditation on Lord Vasudeva. This is what the scriptures say. Lord Shiva himself also expresses this to Mother Parvati. It is also noted in Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto. So then the complaint is that so we don't have a house. Everybody has a house. So Lord Shiva is blessing everybody with material opulence. And Mother Durga, his own wife, she is the controller of material energy. All Panchabhutas, material elements, everything is under control of Durga. And Shiva is the master, Durga is the controller. Imagine what a combination. Practically, this whole cosmic creation belongs to them. Themselves, they don't have one house to live. So this was the complaint. So then Lord Shiva said, okay, because so much of pressure is there, I will construct one house. And then Lord Shiva constructed a very nice house. So then Guru Pravesham was there. See, the Guru Pravesham is a very old concept. So Guru Pravesham was there. Then he called, all the Devatas and many guests, invitees. So many of them came. And Brahmins, obviously, to call the Brahmanas, they are the prime guests among all the guests, Rishis. So they were all called. The Brahmanas came, the Rishis came, and they did a nice sacrifice, Vedic sacrifice to sanctify the house. And then they enter the house. Graha Pravesha. They enter the house after all the sacrifice is over. Then, after the sacrifice is over, it is a custom. It is customary to give dakshina to the Brahmanas. It is customary. It is a part of the procedure. If you see in our nursing home also when we do morning, so it actually says that there must be Yajaman and then he should give dakshina to the priest. But anyway, our devotees are very renounced, so we are not expecting any donation. They'll complete it by themselves. So Lord Shiva is the Yajamana, is a Grahastha. So he has to give dakshina to the Brahmins who had performed the sacrifice for his Griha Pravesha. He's thinking what to give. But Lord Shiva has nothing. Only this is the only house which he had. So he gave that house again back as donation. Again back to square one. Again they are left with no house. So this is the kind of devotees, great personalities, that they are completely detached. Although they may possess everything, up to the point of possessing the whole cosmic creation, still they are detached. And here, as the saying goes, even a beggar is proud of his penny. Meaning, even one pencil also will become attached to my pencil, my rubber, small children, my toy, my dress. Hey, my shirt you can give me. Up to my room, to my building, I am the owner of, proprietor of this company, to I am the head of the society, I am the president, I am the prime minister, I own these lands. We are thinking like that in this earth, in this country. And Devatas are thinking, I am Indra, I am Chandra, I am the master of this planet, controller of this planet, controller of the jivas. So different degrees, everybody is claiming, falsely claiming controllership and proprietorship. Although none of them belong to them. They neither can exercise control nor they can claim proprietorship. Although we think so. And we feel very possessive about it. But here we can see the example of the lives in these great personalities. Lord Parashuram, another incarnation of the Lord. Lord Shiva is called Mahadev. All the cosmic activities by the arrangement of the Lord is happening through Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva is being deputed to run this cosmic creation under the direction of Vishnu. And the day-to-day operations are given to Mother Durga. So although they have such supremacy over this creation, they're completely detached. Parshuram also, you see, he's left with nothing now, once again. Gave off all the directions, north, south, east, west. In between also, north, south, northeast, southwest, southeast. And then the middle of the land also. And whatever balanced land also, called Aryavarta, everything given. Not reserving even one portion for himself. Okay, one portion for me, the balance I'll give. Not even that 100% returned back. This is the Lord. And there is another reference we see in the same ninth canto, 11th chapter, about the glory of Lord Ramachandra in a similar way. I will read some text. Jai Krishna Balaram Gaunitai Prabhupada ki jai. So, so when Lord Ramachandra was ruling this earth planet, it was during Treta Yuga, he became the king. And although it was Treta Yuga, it looked like Satya Yuga because of his good ruling. Everyone was very religious and completely happy. And so many sacrifices he would perform, Vedic sacrifices, Lord Ramachandra, with opulent paraphernalia. And he worshipped himself through those sacrifices because sacrifice is meant to worship Vishnu. And that Vishnu only is Lord Ramachandra. Therefore he worshipped himself. And there also it is mentioned because he is the supreme Lord of all the Devatas. Actually in the sacrifices you also offer oblations to Devatas. But actually it is to the super soul, the Paramatma in the Devata. And but there is one more important element. Not just the Paramatma in the Devata, the prasadam of that is also actually offered to the Devata. Because Devatas are Bhaktas. So they want prasadam. Just like our bhoga got over now. We are waiting for prasadam. Bear 10 more minutes, we will close. 15 more, 20 more minutes. So we also want prasadam. Prabhu, prasadam. So we are ready for prasadam. Devatas also. Sacrifice is over. Prabhu, prasadam. So they want prasadam. So the worship is offered to Vishnu and the prasadam is given to the Devatas. Then after performing this sacrifice, Lord Ramachandra also similarly, what did he do? A similar such description is there in the 11th chapter, 9th canto. Lord Ramachandra gave the east to the Hota. Same description, exact description. He gave the south to the Brahma priest, the west to Advaryu, the north to Udgata, the reciter of Samaveda. In this way, he donated his kingdom. So to perform one Vedic sacrifice, primarily you require 4 Brahmanas called Hota, Advaryu, Udgata and Brahma. Hota means one who offers oblations into the sacrificial fire. Sesame seeds, barley, ghee, one who pours and offers things into the yajna, into the fire. So the fire is constituted with the tongue of Vishnu. So therefore you are offering everything to Lord Vishnu for his pleasure and satisfaction. So that he is called the Hota, one who offers. Everybody can't offer. Everybody has a specific role and they are expert and trained in that way. So it's not an easy thing. It is quite well defined. The Vedic system, everything is well defined. Then that is the Hota. Then the Advaryu is one who lights or kindles fire without the use of a matchstick. Vishnu Charan, where is the matchstick? Oh, it is not there. Please get. No. He will chant mantra and light the fire. He will chant mantra and produce Agni. He is called Advaryu. Which Brahmana is then in Kali Yuga like that? Chanting mantra, he will produce fire. Then Udgata, one who chants the Vedic mantras from the Sama Veda, sometimes from the Rig Veda. So in Ramachandra's case, the chanting was from the Sama Veda. Also, Atharva Veda also used, Yajur Veda is also used. Depends on the specific yajna performed. So he's called Udgata. Then Brahma means one who oversees all the activities of the yajna. He is called the Brahma priest. He is actually the supervisor who supervises the entire yajna, that it is going as per, it is going the right way. All the procedures are being followed, nothing is being missed out. That's his responsibility, Brahma priest. And here we have one more name called, in today's discussion, Upadrashtre, supervisor. The priest acting as an overseer to hear and check the mantras. Upadrashta. So these kind of brahmanas are required for performing any Vedic sacrifice. And there are assistant priests, associate priests. So what happened? So Lord Ramachandra donated the north, south, east, west, every land available on this earth. Then further Lord Ramachandra thought, these brahmanas are so dedicated. Actually, they were Vaishnavas. Because any brahmana who is fully dedicated to Lord Vishnu actually is a Vaishnava. Or in other words, every Vaishnava is necessarily a Brahmana. But every Brahmana is not necessarily a Vaishnava until he completely dedicates himself to Lord Vishnu exclusively. Then he promotes himself to the position of a Vaishnava. So Brahmana's further promotion is becoming Vaishnava, and the Vaishnava is automatically a Brahmana. So if you see a Vaishnava, don't ask him, Prabhu, are you a Brahmin? You're automatically a Brahmin. It is just like somebody is doing his graduation in the college. Ask him, you have completed 12th standard, no? How will he come to degree without completing 12th standard? It's an irrelevant, ridiculous question. You are exposing your foolishness, that's all, by asking this question. So, Lord Ramachandra thought, these Brahmanas have no material desires. That means actually Akama, Anyabhlashita Shunyam. That means actually is a Vaishnava. So these Brahmanas have no material desires. Those who came to perform Homa for Lord Ramachandra, they were this quality Brahmanas. No material desires. Therefore, Lord Ramachandra thought they should possess the whole world. See, interesting. Looks contradictory, right? They don't have desire, then why are you giving? Such people only should be given because they will not exploit, they will not abuse. They will use it very carefully in the welfare of every jiva. That is why Brahmanas and Vaishnavas deserve charity because they are not greedy, they don't have self-interest, they are not selfish, they are always meditating on how to benefit the jivas and make them Krishna conscious. So they are the eligible persons to receive charity. If you ask who is the eligible person to receive charity or whom should I give charity, this is one of the criteria. One who is not greedy, one who is selfless, one who is completely detached from everything material, like Lord Shiva. One who is free from all material desires. Search out that person. Such a person deserves charity. Lord Ramachandra could see that these were those Brahmins, no material desire. So they deserve this entire world. So Lord Ramachandra therefore delivered the land between east, west, north, south to the Acharya, to the Brahmanas. So north, south, east, west gave, then the land between north, south, east, west, he gave to one more Brahmin called Acharya. He is head priest. What did Lord Ramachandra retain for himself? Shukadeva Goswami says, only the dress what he was wearing, his ornaments and his personal garments, that is the only thing which he retained for himself. What about Mother Sita, the queen? Only her personal sari and one nose ring, that's all. Rest everything Lord Ramachandra donated, gave off to the priests. All these Brahmanas were engaged simply for satisfying Lord Ramachandra alone. They lived to satisfy Lord Ramachandra and nothing else. So therefore, they were very affectionate to Lord Ramachandra. They had great affection for Lord Ramachandra. And Lord Ramachandra also was very affectionate and favorable to such Brahmins. Not the caste Brahmins who are egoistic, who claim birthrights, who don't see equality in the jivas, who don't see the Supreme Lord in everyone's heart. Not that kind of Brahmanas who are greedy, who don't have faith on the Supreme Lord. Not such kind of Kali Yuga Brahmins. Of course, there are good Brahmanas in Kali Yuga also, but countable. 1, 2, 3, that's all. So, because of great affection for Lord Ramachandra, what did the Brahmanas do? They returned all the property received from him back to Ramachandra. You see their nature? Oh, I got it. Let me pocket it now. No. See their gracefulness, see their detachment. Fortune has knocked at their door voluntarily. Lord Ramachandra only has gifted and donated everything, but see their grace and their detachment. They returned back everything to the Lord. And they spoke as follows. That we'll see little shortly. What did they speak? So Prabhupada makes some very important observations in this purport. This is to text number 5, 9, 11, 5. 9th canto, 11th chapter, text number 5. Prabhupada says, Brahminical life, Brahmana character does not allow one to possess any land or to rule the citizens. It does not allow you to possess any asset or property. These are the duties of a Brahmana. So therefore, although the Brahmanas didn't refuse the charity given by Lord Ramachandra, they accepted, but they have the right to return it back also. So they returned back to Lord Ramachandra. So Brahmanas are not meant to possess property to make a profit from it. So the Kshatriyas, they are allowed to collect tax from the citizens, but to give charity to eligible Brahmanas, like this. So the charity, the tax collected, is not meant for the king's increasing his opulence. It is meant for giving charity at suitable times to suitable persons. Charity is not given indiscriminately. It has to be given with a lot of thought. and purpose as per the direction of the Shastra. Charity cannot be given indiscriminately. So a Kshatriya or a ruler levies taxes upon the citizens not for his personal sense gratification but to give charity in suitable cases. In fact, this is one of the uh, qualities of a Kshatriya. Dhanamishwara bhavascha. Bhagavad Gita, it is explained. Dhanamishwara bhavascha. Dhanam, giving charity, is one of the qualities of a Kshatriya. That means today it is supposed to be the government. So government is expected to give charity, but in suitable cases. Not abusing the tax so collected for materialistic and ulterior purposes and for self promotion, self aggrandizement, for self popularity, for self awareness. No. It is to give charity, you are collecting tax. That is why Yudhishthira Maharaj, when it came to giving charity, he selected the famous Data Karna. The word Data means one who is very liberal. Very liberal. Data Karna. In giving charity, Karna was very liberal. Therefore, Yudhishthira Maharaj gave his treasury to Karna. When it came to charity particularly. Because he will give heart's content. He will not withhold anything. And the property is Yudhishthira's. Just imagine how much detached the king is. He is giving to somebody else to distribute without lekachara. These were the kind of kings and government who were ruling us. That's why Krishna wanted Yudhishthira to be the king. And you see, such great souls. Although Karna was on the other side, Yudhishthira has no such calculation. My party and his party. They only made such calculations. The Kauravas separating the Pandavas. Dhritarashtra made the difference. Yudhishthira never made the difference. That we are Pandavas, they are Kauravas. Actually, they were also Kurus. Pandavas and Kauravas actually were both Kurus. But Dhritarashtra separated them as his own sons as Kauravas, sons of Pandu, his brother as Pandus. He brought the distinction. But Yudhishthira didn't consider. You see, his treasury is given to Karna to distribute when it comes to charity. So detached. So, the king's duty, therefore, is to give charity, and the Brahmana's duty is to accept charity. You'll be surprised. It is one of the duties of a Brahmana to accept charity. There are 6 duties of a Brahmana, as described in the Vedic literatures. Yajana, Yajana, Patana, Patana, Dana, Pratigraha. The 6 duties of a occupation of a Brahmana. Yajana, Yajana. He performs sacrifices, Homa, Havan, for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu. And he also teaches others, you should also perform sacrifice, Homa, Yajna. Of course, the most practical and efficient and perfect and complete yajna in Kali Yuga is the chanting of the holy names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's the complete, perfect yajna in Kali Yuga. Not the fire sacrifice, which lacks qualified brahmanas and not as perfect as chanting Krishna's name. There are reasons for this. We can discuss another occasion. There are many specific technical reasons are there. How Hare Krishna Yajna is the best, complete, perfect Yajna without any dosha. In the regular Yajnas have dosha. Is incomplete and imperfect. At least it becomes complete by offering to Vishnu. Still within that there are imperfections. So that defects of that karmakandi yajnas we can discuss some other time. That's why best is perform Sankirtana Yajna. Either you sing Hare Krishna or you chant Hare Krishna. So, Yajana Yajana. He performs Yajna, he teaches others also to perform Yajna. Then Patana Patana, studies Shastra, he also helps others understand Shastra and he also teaches Patana. He also teaches and inspires them also to read Shastra. He doesn't keep it as a secret for himself. He teaches everyone, distributes knowledge to everyone. Just like in ISKCON, Prabhupada made the system. We're teaching everything in the Bhagavatam. Prabhupada taught everything in the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam to everyone. He didn't withhold the knowledge to himself. This is under liberal mindedness of the Brahmana. Not only in money, even in distributing knowledge. He is very liberal. Similarly in moksha, now that only he becomes liberated by chanting Vishnu's name, performing Havana, he wants everybody also to get that blessing of going back to Godhead, to the spiritual world, get moksha. So he's so liberal to that degree. That's a pure devotee. So, Yajana Yajana Patana Patana Dana Pratigraha. Pratigraha means to accept charity. That is one duty of a Brahmana. But there's another aspect called Dana. Brahmana also should give charity. Interesting to note here. Brahmana also should give charity. Not that he only accepts charity, because there are two aspects. Dana and Pratigraha. Pratigraha is he accepts charity from the Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. He accepts charity. But he also should give charity. Why? How does that need arise? Because whenever there is an excess charity being received with the Brahmana, he has to return it back. He should not maintain. So for the Brahmana, there is no bank account. No tension. Whether bank will collapse, bank will freeze. He has no such anxiety. He is carefree. So therefore, here, when they returned the property back to Lord Ramachandra, what did these Brahmanas address the Lord? How did they address the Lord? They said like this: O Lord Ramachandra, you are the master of the entire universe. What have you not given us? Actually, they say, you have entered the core of our hearts and removed the ignorance of material life, material bondage, material attachment, bodily concept of life. You have removed this darkness by entering the core of our heart. This is the supreme gift. We do not require any material donation from you, my Lord. So these were the Brahmanas. Then we see in the much earlier canto, the first canto of Bhagavatam, this one more example of Yudhishthira Maharaj himself. We all know that a big Mahabharata war happened and so many kings and soldiers laid their life for Yudhishthira to become the king. Did he really enjoy? Did he really enjoy? No. He was actually completely renounced and detached. Only because of the order of Krishna and Bhishma Dev, he was pacified. Actually, because of Bhishma Dev is pacified, he fought because of Krishna's order. And after he won the battle, he was very sorry for killing so many kings and people, soldiers. Just for him to become the king, he was not happy. You see, so graceful he is. He was always renounced and detached. So, Maharaja Yudhishthira, although he ruled the world as a matter of duty, but when he found a suitable person, like in the person of Maharaja Parikshit, immediately he wanted to give up the kingdom. Immediately. When he saw that there is another person to take over the kingdom, instead of pushing him down and doing politics to kick him out, this is what happens today. He was happy. Oh, great. There is somebody to take over the ruling. Let me detach. Because he had always been detached. You cannot develop detachment suddenly, all of a sudden, by overnight. That means all the while he had been detached. In fact, there is a statement, Yudhishthira Maharaj considered himself as a caretaker. He tells that to Krishna. Krishna, actually you are the proprietor of all this world. All the three worlds, let alone this globe. So, I am only a caretaker. As a caretaker, I will rule this world, Krishna, like that he told Lord Krishna. These are the kind of kings who are ruling the Bharata Varsha. Not the greedy politicians or greedy brahmanas, which we see today. So when he saw Parishit Maharaj grown to the suitable age to take over the ruling and being trained properly also, then what did he do? So this is described in the first canto, 15th chapter. Maharaj Yudhishthira dressed himself in torn clothing, gave up eating all solid foods, voluntarily became dumb, and let his hair loose. All this combined to make him look like an urchin or a madman, but he didn't care. He wanted to be detached. And he did not depend on his brothers to take their advice and suggestion. Should I do this or not? No such thing. So this is called not depending on another's mercy. Other day we were discussing what does it mean by over dependence on another's mercy. This is one classic example. Not to depend on others' mercy. The Lord is there. He will provide everything. So Yudhishthira didn't depend on his brothers. He left the kingdom without announcing to anyone, including Arjuna, including Lord Krishna. He didn't tell. And his own wife, Draupadi, he didn't tell. Just left. Not taking a booty with him while going in torn clothing. He changed all his garments. Left all the jewelry back in the locker. And when his brothers understood, oh, Yudhishthira Maharaj has left the kingdom towards the north, Himalaya. That means on their way back to Godhead. They also left the kingdom of their own without taking anyone's suggestion and consultation. They were also spiritually enlightened. They know their duty and they left the kingdom. Were their wives disturbed? Mother Draupadi got to know much later because even the other brothers didn't tell Mother Draupadi that they're leaving. She was not panicking. She was also equally spiritually advanced and Krishna conscious and had full faith on Krishna's protection. She didn't cry. She didn't become filled with anxiety. She also left the kingdom and went and followed her husband's path. She also left to the north alone. So these were the not being, attached to the hearth and home and to the gold and jewelry and to the property and kingdom. Because their safe treasure is in the lotus feet of Krishna. By virtue of their realization, not theoretical. They didn't treasure anything more valuable than Krishna Bhakti. So they could immediately detach from everything. Prabhupada also was like that. I would close here. Prabhupada also was like that. You can see he went with 30 rupees. And eventually he made 108 temples. And although he made 108 temples across the world by Krishna's grace and his Guru's grace, he would not stay more than 3 days in one center. Went on traveling, giving his life for everyone's hitakarya, benefit. Went on traveling and traveling and traveling and traveling and preaching and preaching and preaching and preaching. His whole life and breath, at the cost of his health, he didn't care. So this is Brahmana, this is Vaishnava. Such people, such acharyas, such great devotees, you can see how detached they are. So Krishna says, such persons are eligible to receive charity. Because they're detached, they have no material desire. And they don't possess anything. Then you may say, I will give you. You don't possess, I will give you. If you give them, they will again give it back to somebody. And again become zero. That's what Prabhupada said. You collect millions in the morning, spend that millions by evening. Again account is zero. This is Brahmana. This is Vaishnava. We should live like that, Prabhupada said. And that's how Prabhupada had showed that in ISKCON. So we collect, we spend, finished. Be happy. You can sleep peacefully. No personal accounts. Krishna is our treasure house. So like that we should also, following the footsteps, learn whom to give charity, what is the eligible cost. Eligible cost is to give Krishna consciousness to the world. Because the world is suffering without this Krishna consciousness, and Krishna conscious people. See this kind of people and see the kind of people today we have living with, so difficult. So we should change, give Krishna consciousness. The world will become Vaikuntha. Even in Kali Yuga. Such kind of life is desirable. And we should support this cause to spread Krishna consciousness. And our money will be properly used by spending it for supporting Krishna consciousness movement as enjoined in the scriptures. We'll stop here. Granthrat Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai.